Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Listen up, Morgan Wade is releasing new music. Kyle Richards' BFF released her latest album, Obsessed, this past August. And now the country music singer has more music on the way that might be familiar to some longtime fans. Morgan took to Instagram on May 28, where she revealed that she is coming out with a new album. The Party Is Over Recovered, later this summer. This album will feature songs that are demos and early recordings from the early days of Morgan's career, long before she put out her debut record, Puppets With My Heart, in 2018, in addition to some new ones. A lot of you have been here for a long time listening and supporting me, she wrote in the caption of the post. That means some of you were here before I ever put out my debut record. You heard songs that were demos and early recordings that no longer exist. I wanted to put these songs back into the world and give them life again. Showcase that chapter of my life and throw in some new songs too. While these songs might be new to a lot of you, they are all friends to some of you. Definitely old friends to me. Hope you enjoy and thanks for everything. Although she didn't leave a comment, Kyle showed her support to her friend by liking the post announcing the release. Morgan Wade poses backstage at Ryman Auditorium on April 7, 2023 in Nashville, Tennessee. Morgan's new album, The Party Is Over Recovered, will be released on August 1. The album will feature 11 different songs, including the title track, The Party Is Over, which is out now. Kyle Richards and Morgan Wade took their friendship to a new level for a good cause, Pisces. Everything Kyle Richards has shared about relationship with Morgan Wade and where they stand today. Kyle Richards applauds Morgan Wade's beautiful awards show red carpet appearance, Picoto. Morgan also teased her new single across Instagram posts and used the lyrics of the title track to highlight key moments from the song. She captioned one post, "Anything is better than the silence," and wrote in the caption, "If another, the party is over, tonight." The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member also showed her support for the new single, liking both of Morgan's Instagram posts, where she shared snippets of the song. "When the lights all dim and the party is over, I still want you when I'm sober," Morgan sings in the song. Sign up for Bravo Insider and read behind-the-scenes features including Summer House cast reveals behind-the-scenes filming secrets, including those mystery packages. Real Housewives on vacation. The delicate science behind group trip room assignments. Portia Williams details journey from innocent RHOBH newbie to supernova on season 16. From friend of to full-time Real Housewife. Kiana and Shamia tell all. Kyle more recently spoke about her friendship with Morgan during the RHOBH season 14 reunion. During part 2 of the reunion, Kyle noted that she chose not to talk about Morgan throughout the season of the show because of her 4 daughters, even though Morgan briefly appeared on RHOBH season 13. "I'm not going to, for example, say something that is going to affect my daughters' lives for a TV show, for a network, for fans, for ratings, ever," she explained. "So, if it's going to hurt somebody that I love and that I care about, I don't care." Sign up for Bravo Insider to not miss special BravoCon opportunities both online and in person. Want real-time BravoCon alerts? Text BravoCon 2025 to 917-809-2240. Message and data rates may apply. See how Kyle supported Morgan during a recent red carpet outing. When Morgan Wade took to social media this morning to announce her new album, The Party Is Over Recovered, the internet lit up with both speculation and applause. The Virginia-born alt-country songstress, known for her raw voice and even rawer lyrics, is no stranger to bearing her soul, but this time she's digging even deeper. What makes this release especially poignant is that it's not entirely new. Recovered is a full-scale reimagining of her 2022 album, The Party Is Over, which chronicled a turbulent period in Wade's life marked by addiction, heartbreak, and ultimately sobriety. This time, she's telling the same story, but from the other side. And somewhere in a small apartment in Columbus, Ohio, a guy named Kyle is sitting on his worn-in leather couch, headphones on, tears in his eyes. For him, this album isn't just music, it's memory. Kyle first heard The Party Is Over on a rainy Thursday night 3 years ago. It was one of those rare albums that felt like a confession whispered just for him. He had just come home from his second AA meeting. His girlfriend had left him 6 weeks earlier. He was 32, newly sober, and unsure if he even knew who he was anymore. And then came Morgan Wade's voice, pouring out of his laptop speakers like honey laced with barbed wire. "Sometimes the mirror's not broken. It's just telling the truth," she sang, and Kyle laughed through a sob. He played that album on repeat for months. It became a kind of prayer, a soundtrack for long walks, lonely nights, and slow healing. He felt like Morgan had been there in the worst of it. Her songs didn't glamorize pain, but they didn't flinch from it either. They just told the truth. When Morgan announced Recovered, Kyle was at work. A friend texted him the news with a screenshot of her Instagram post. "I wrote The Party Is Over in the middle of the storm. Now I've had a few years of calm. I want to tell the story again, but this time through a lens of recovery, clarity, and gratitude. These are the same songs, but they're different now. I am different now." Kyle stared at the screen, then reread it again. It's hard to explain to someone who hasn't been there what it means to see your own evolution reflected back at you through the music that once kept you alive. For Kyle, this wasn't just an artist's project. It felt like a conversation with a past version of himself. When the album dropped at midnight, Kyle was ready. The opener, a stripped-down piano version of 27 Club, no longer trembled with panic and desperation. It was steadier now, almost serene. Where the original had felt like a scream into the void, the new version was a conversation with a ghost you've finally forgiven. The Party Is Over, Recovered, still hurt, but it hurt differently. The guitars were softer, the vocals more controlled. Morgan no longer sounded like she was falling apart. She sounded like she had picked up the pieces and learned how to carry them. On Psychopath, Recovered, a song originally brimming with chaos and rage, she added a verse that wasn't in the first version. A quiet reflection on shame, boundaries, and self-worth. It wasn't about blaming anymore. It was about owning your story. Kyle sat in the dark, track after track, remembering where he was the first time he heard each one. The drunk texts, the detox clinic, the apology calls that went unanswered, and he remembered the slow, steady light that began to seep back in. By the time the album closed with 20 milligrams of clarity, Recovered, Kyle wasn't crying anymore. He was breathing. Deeply. Fully. Morgan's new version of The Party Is Over felt like a gift, not just to her fans, but to her former self. And to anyone, like Kyle, who had to walk through hell and still keeps checking over their shoulder to make sure the fire isn't creeping back. The next morning, Kyle opened a fresh Google Doc and started typing. It wasn't a tweet. It wasn't even a review. It was a letter. "You don't know me, but your music helped me stay alive. When I didn't know how to feel, you felt things for me. When I couldn't find the words, you spoke them. I listened to the original album in pieces. I listened to this new one whole. It's a map, both of where I've been and where I might be going. Thank you for recovering out loud. Thank you for showing what healing can sound like. Thank you for permission to grow. I'm still working on my own version of Recovered, but I think I'm getting there." There's something special about art that doesn't try to be timeless but ends up that way anyway. Morgan Wade's The Party Is Over, Recovered isn't just a reissue or a remix. It's a reminder that healing isn't about forgetting where you came from. It's about understanding it differently. And for people like Kyle, who lived inside those songs, who used them as emotional scaffolding, it's more than music. It's evidence that you can rewrite your story, not to erase the pain, but to make peace with it. Morgan Wade once sang from the edge. Now she sings from a place of balance. And for all the Kyles out there, who might still be somewhere between the crash and the clarity, she's proof that you can make it to the other side. In the weeks to come, The Party Is Over, Recovered will undoubtedly stir up conversation in the music world. Some critics will debate whether revisiting old material counts as artistic evolution. Others will call it redundant. But for the people who lived those stories, for Kyle, it's the album they didn't know they needed.